Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. If you are curious what walking around in Ebisu and Ginza looks like, and if you're into lots of fairy lights and flowers, this video is for you. This was my first time in Japan, and so everything was brand spanking new and exciting, and I would love to share the experience with you. This was a work trip, so I arrived there with my now ex-boss, but as someone who loved to explore places on her own, I wanted to find out for myself whether Japan is a safe place for a solo Muslimah traveler. Spoiler alert, it is, because I've been there a few more times since this particular trip, and I've always felt safe. We just have to be sensible about it. Upon arrival, we took a cab to our hotel, and I call this my Fast and Furious experience because it was quite scary and thrilling, but the taxi driver clearly knew what he was doing. We arrived safely, and it was during this ride that I had my first sight of Tokyo Tower, and that was the highlight of my first night in Tokyo. The next morning, I woke up to a wonderful view of a mountain far, far away, and I have since learned, and yes, I did not know it at the time, that it was in fact Mount Fuji. Nevertheless, I am very, very grateful that I had the good fortune of that view while I was there. So on the first day, I wanted to visit Itoya in Ginza. You see, over the years, I developed a love for painting in watercolor, and once I found out that I'll be going, I did some research online on where to go, and everyone say that Itoya is the place that you must visit if you love stationaries. And well, who doesn't love stationaries, right? So we made our way to Ginza. We were staying in Ebisu, and so we took the Hibiya line, which is the grey colored line in the map, which goes straight to Ginza. It was such a delight that along the walkalater in the Ebisu Station, there were these beautiful flowers which I couldn't stop taking videos of. And once I got my first ever Suica card, off to Ginza we go. What I love about the trains in Japan is that firstly, they are very, very quiet. I love it. And secondly, they are all very well labeled, so you know which exit to head to once you step off the train. One of the things I notice about the train stations in Japan is that most of them are well decorated and uniquely decorated. So for the exit in Ginza towards Itoya, there were these rows of pillars giving off Harry Potter vibes to me. Once we arrive on the streets of Ginza, it is quite obvious that Ginza is a place where the luxury brands are, but what caught my attention was the fact that the facade of each brand were unique to each of them. Like here, Louis Vuitton has their own designs, and Bulgari has their own. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it. I'm not a luxury brand expert. When I spotted the sign for Itoya, I was very, very excited. I mean, this is a space with 12 floors of stationery related items, from cards to pens to organizers, stickers, washi tapes, all of that. I even squeaked a little bit when we arrived at the door. And it's a good thing that upon entering, you are welcome with sounds of nature. Birds chirping, waters dripping, and it was very, very calming to calm down the excitement in me. I don't have a video of all of the floors, but I will share that they have an amazing selection of things. Like the home decor has this beautifully made chopstick holders or chopstick rest, the traditional stands, which I cannot remember the specific name of it is right now. And also the ink selections with some illustration. The ones that I show are Edo style illustration. I mean, they were just so beautiful. I wanted to cry. And of course, I went to the floor with all of the pigments, the watercolors, gouache, ink, brushes, and just essentially just gawk at all of them. They are so beautiful, and they had this wall of paper colors, I think, as a catalog. It was just beautiful. So after about like 2 hours or so gawking and selecting stickers, washi tapes, and everything else, when I was called by the ex-boss, we then headed to Loft, which was also recommended by most of the artists on YouTube. We went to one of the branches nearby, and Loft doesn't just carry stationeries, but it's a variety store, so they also have like skincare, cosmetic. But it was the first time that I saw in my life that there were so many bath salts, and I was simply amazed by the selection that was available. So after Loft, the ex-boss would like to go to a donburi restaurant which was viral nearby, and I took the opportunity to really soak in the environment, the vibe as you call it, of Tokyo. Along the way, I really appreciated that the streets were lined with flower boxes, and it was not spring yet, maybe it was early spring. I was there this time at the end of February, early March. Quite a number of them was already in bloom, and they were really pretty, and it was quite windy, so they were just like fluttering around in the wind, which I thought was pretty beautiful. I really appreciated that each store would decorate their facade. It makes their store unique, and some of them had lanterns which were really colorful and beautiful. I really think that Tokyo is really a feast for the eye, and it is such an inspiration, at least for me who paints. I feel like I want to paint everything, and I hope I will have the time to do it all one day. Speaking of which, I already have some videos where I painted some of the sites I've seen. You're welcome to check it out in my channel. So once we arrived at Tsujihan, I really liked their use of the natural elements, like more towards wood. I think it gave the place a really warm and serene feeling. And of course, while I was waiting in line, I just checked out, the surrounding, and there were this quite interesting motorbike parked nearby. Once inside, I got the hot green tea, which was very comforting given that it was really cold outside. I found it interesting that they had this instruction on how to enjoy the meal, and I think you can take it in two ways. Maybe we would think that it's strange or a bit uptight of them to tell us how to eat, but the view that I take is that they just want us to get the best experience of the meal, because I believe that they have spent years mastering the meal that they offer, and they just want us to have it in the best way possible for our own benefit. After the meal, we walked to the station to get back to our hotel, and it's just another opportunity for me to enjoy more storefronts and more flower boxes, and really just take note all of this interesting and unique signages, decors. I mean, it was my first time in Japan, so everything was like, wow, wow, and I really cannot hide it. At the time, they still had these fairy lights on the trees in the streets. They're just like everywhere, and for some reason it still amazed me because it's as if I've never seen lights before, but they were really pretty. Once we arrived back in Ebisu, it was already really dark, and so the plaza and the surrounding areas were just lit up with more fairy lights, and I just took the opportunity to take more footages because I think it's really pretty. and there were more flowers just dancing in the wind, which I thought was simply relaxing. In the next video, I will share my first experience of Shibuya and Shinjuku, so subscribe and hit that notification button so you get to see it once it's released. Thank you so very much for spending your time with me, and I hope you enjoy geeking out over the streets of Japan with me. As I mentioned, I do have some videos where I illustrated my arrival in Japan. You're more than welcome to check those out, and I will see you in the next one.